All right, welcome everybody. Great to see you this afternoon. My name is Mike La Charite. I'm a gold consultant on Team Sky, and very excited to delve into today's topic. We are going to talk about designing a website using Squarespace. So I'd love to just kind of start out for those of you that are here with us today. If you could put in the chat, do you have any experience with website design or domains, any of that in the past? Or are you kind of starting fresh? That will be very helpful to know. So if you wouldn't mind just adding that in the chat. Awesome, Heather, you do. What have you used in the past? Do you mind asking? WordPress or Wix? I know there's a bunch of them out there. So again, as I mentioned a little earlier, I am not going to be on camera today. I'm in a kind of a weird spot for that, but we are going to do some screen sharing and walk through Squarespace. Ryan, great to have you here. Very limited experience way back in the 90s. It has definitely changed a lot and become quite a bit easier than I'm assuming it was back then. I remember even when I started getting into website, work, which is probably, I don't know, 2000, late 2000s, early 2010, somewhere around there. Even then, you were using WordPress, and it was a lot of complicated plugins and all this. There's so many different systems now that just make it so easy, plug and play. And Squarespace is one of my favorites. So let's go ahead and dive in. So we're going to be talking about designing a travel agent website using Squarespace, and this is just a really simple drag and drop system that I have found great luck using. There are other systems out there. WordPress is still a big player and can offer a lot more customization in terms of different apps and plugins that you can use to function in different ways. But for the most part, I think Squarespace offers all the functionality that we need as travel agents. So first thing, I thought I would just give you a quick tour of my site. This is still a work in progress. I just am kind of rebranding and revamping my website. So I'm still adding some pages. I just got up kind of what I needed at the beginning here, but you can see nice picture at the top. Kind of my little tagline up here, a little bit of an introduction, and then I've got some travel photos here. So right now I'm using mostly photos from my own travels, and then I've interspersed some client ones as well as I'm getting those. The nice thing I like about having my own website is I can put my booking form right here on the website. So instead of having a Jot form or using a Google form, I can send everybody just right to my site. They fill out the form, and with Squarespace, I'll show you a little bit later, but we can actually export these answers direct to a spreadsheet. So it makes it really easy to use the data. Sorry, I'm having some voice issues. I was on a plane yesterday and dried me out, so I apologize for that. But other things I have on here, just kind of so I do a lot of destination weddings, so I broke this up with a gallery into different types of wedding related trips. I also love doing faith-based, so I have some of my favorite faith-based trips here. Actually need to update this with everything going on in Israel. This trip is not happening anymore. But okay, so that's just kind of a very brief tour of what I have on my site right now. So I'm going to get into Squarespace. And basically, the first thing you're going to do is go to squarespace.com and you're going to sign up for a free trial. They give you, I think it's 2 weeks before you have to pay. So if you log in and just hit get started right here, it's going to have you sign up, put your basic information in, and it'll get you started on a website. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm already logged in, so it's not going to ask me the personal information. But once you put in all of that, this is what you are going to come to. And what I really like about Squarespace is they have all these different templates that are already pre-built, and each of them is kind of customized towards a different, like theme. So they have the themes, but then they also have certain functionality with like a gaming site that would be different than a travel site, different than like a personal CV. They've kind of customized each template with different blocks and different types of things. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay. So we're going to start with a travel site, obviously. But a wedding site would work well. And you can also start with no template. If you really want to dig in and just go from scratch, you can do that. But we're going to hit travel. And then it's going to ask, what are our top goals? This is where it's deciding what themes to recommend based on what we need it to do. So for me, I usually have this as self-services. And let's see, which other ones do we want to do? The contact form is a big deal. Sometimes, depending on what you're going to do with your travel business, but publishing a blog or other media can also be very useful. So I'm going to go ahead and leave those three and then hit finish. And it's going to suggest, based on what I selected, some of the top templates that they recommend. Okay. And so you can kind of take a look at these, and as you hover over it, it'll give you an opportunity to preview it. So if we click that, it's going to come up with a demo site and let us really explore what's in here. So this one looks mostly like a blog or a gallery site, which wasn't potentially what I was looking for. If you hit view demo site, it'll give it to you up in like the full window so you can actually check out all the pages. But we're going to go back here and see what else it gives us. Rivoli's not bad. Okay, Harmon, that looks like a lot of also sort of blog based. Then they've got more blog templates here. Let's see if there's something we like. I tend to like this style. Let's preview Lusaka. So I like having sort of a tagline up at the top and then having a little about section. And, it kind of has just the different data here. So I'm going to start with this one for now as I'm showing you guys. But again, this is all customizable, right? You can pick whatever you'd like. You can also see what it looks like on a tablet or on a phone. So before you choose, you can actually see that it's mobile ready and how it converts, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hit start with this design. And you guys don't be shy about asking questions. I'll definitely come back for Q&A at the end, but I am watching the chat. So if you have anything you want to put in there as we go, feel free. Okay. So it's going to ask you for a site name. So we're going to do my travel site, whatever your company name is. What are we selling? Physical products and services, bookable appointments, access to content. So it's saying it's giving us all of these tools in this template. Okay, it's going to drive traffic with branded email campaigns, integrated social media. That's cool. And it'll actually let us do some business management with invoicing. So that's a nice little thing for this template. Depending on the Squarespace plan you have, which we'll go through at the end, you'll have certain functionality. So once you get through kind of it talking about it, here we are on the main page. And Squarespace makes it really easy to edit all of this stuff, right? Let me just give you a little tour of the toolbar. So if we go on website, that's going to give us sort of the navigation. And what it usually has is there's a folder here at the top. And that folder is directly, it's this menu bar. So you can see if I add a page to the main navigation, we can choose what type of page we want. Let's say, hey, there's not a contact form up there. So let's say we want to scroll down. Okay, there's not a contact form. So we're going to do a blank page. And we're going to say, contact us. Okay, so because it's under this first folder, projects, it would come up under here. Okay, but if I take that page and I drag it out here, now we're still in the main navigation. And so now it's come up on the right over here. Would have been nice if I spelled that right, but that's okay. All right, so super easy to adjust and to add different pages. Then it's got a section down here for not linked pages. These are anything you don't want showing up in your navigation. So I have different things like I have for my mentees, I have the schedule of NAOs and the Q&As. I have a page for that they can go visit anytime. So I have that not linked, so it's not public. Okay. But they make it really, really easy to gate stuff, based on that. For the different pages, they also have a lot of different options. If you hit the settings wheel, so you have things like changing the URL, so where what that page destination is going to look like, and you can actually password protect individual pages as well. Let's say you want to have a client page that's I don't know, terms and conditions or something, but you only want people to see it who have worked with you, who are clients. You can put a password on there. Okay. You can duplicate pages. It's got other things like changing the text for SEO, updating logos and stuff for social media. Okay. So you can customize all of this information page by page. All right. So that's kind of this website menu. If we go back, whoops, selling is going to be, if you're actually selling anything on the website, you're probably not going to use this too much. But if you do subscribe to one of the higher plans, you can use payments and do invoicing right on your website. Okay. That's super helpful. Marketing, they offer email campaigns and some various marketing tools that Squarespace has built up. So let's say you want to offer a Black Friday promotion, hey, $200 back for anybody who books a 7-day trip. You can set all that up right in here. Super easy to do. Okay. This would be tied in with the mailing if you have a contact list. And also, so I'm going to just kind of move down through this a little bit more because a lot of these we're not going to use as travel agents necessarily. Settings, if you go here, it's going to have a lot of different things that we need to use. So first of all, every website that you build in Squarespace is going to have a custom or a prefabricated domain that it puts in. No, none of us are going to use that, right? So you can buy your own domain. You can either do that right here through Squarespace, or if you have a domain through like GoDaddy, you can connect it. That's usually what I do is I go to GoDaddy, I purchase all my domains there, and then just so they're all in one place, and then I hit the use a domain I own, okay? And so to set this up, you're going to type in let's see what's one that I have that I'm not using right now. You're going to type in the domain that you own. Okay. And then it's going to say, do you want to transfer it to Squarespace or do you want to connect the domain? Oh, I already used that one. Okay, hang on a sec. What other do I have? Because I want to show you how to do this. I have a whole bunch of weird domains, so give me a second. Let's do. Sorry, I have a whole bunch of different businesses and things that I'm involved in, so lots of different logins here. This isn't okay. So let's use. I don't think I've used this one before. Let's see. Okay. So I haven't used it with Squarespace, so that's awesome. Once you type in the domain, like I said, you can either transfer it, so that way you actually will maintain that domain through Squarespace, or you can connect your domain. That's what I usually do. So basically, in this case, they are there's two ways to do it. You can either just hit get started and sign into your GoDaddy account or wherever you're hosting it, and they'll put in the information that they need, or you can use the DNS records. So that's probably another training, but this one works most of the time very well. If you need to use the DNS records and you click here, oops, hang on a sec. Okay. So either way, it's going to have you sign into GoDaddy, and then it will give you the domain, the name servers and the DNS you need to change. So basically, in GoDaddy, you open up the domain, you go to the name server section, and you're going to copy these and put them in. Okay. It tells you right here exactly where to click and how to do it. Okay. So it's quite easy to do. And once you follow these instructions, it usually takes about 24 hours, sometimes a lot less than that, but they tell you wait 24 hours for it to connect. And at that point, your domain that you own is now connected here. Okay. So it'll now work with your website. Am I going too fast, or is that all this all making sense so far? You can also, okay, Robert, great, thank you. You can also connect to your Google Workspace. So those are tied together if you have one. Site availability is automatically set to private. Once you get the website built and then you decide your subscription level, you can subscribe and then you can change this to public. Okay. And as private, it'll have a password, or you can set it to password protected. So I do this a lot of times. Like when I want a friend to look at the website, or I had my mentor look at it before I published it. So it's very easy before it's public to put a password here, and then you can have it reviewed by various people. Okay. All the basic permissions, the social links, you can add all your social media here. So just type in your Facebook link, your X or Twitter link, Instagram, all of those things. And that way, when you use social in your website, it'll all be connected already. Okay. Selling, we're not going to use too much. Those are kind of the main ones. Billing, once you set up, you'll have that account. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. The other one, and they moved this recently. So I'm trying to see where they put it. There is an overall setting for the themes of your website, like the colors and the design center, I think they call it. I'm sure we'll find it as we get in here, but it used to be its own nice little category here. So Lauren asked, why do I recommend buying through GoDaddy for the domain? It's totally up to you. If you're only buying one domain name, go ahead and do it through Squarespace. I've done it before with other companies, and it works totally fine. I do it through GoDaddy because I manage a bunch of different domains, and I use some of them for link forwarding to do branded short links. There's a training I did on a company called Rebrandly recently. I'll put that training in the notes when I upload this video. And so basically, if I have multiple domains, I've used GoDaddy for years. I just like keeping them all in one place. That's just kind of my thing. But you can totally do it through Squarespace, and it is all good here. It works flawlessly. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find that design center. I don't know where they moved it to, but we'll find it. Okay, so that's kind of the lay of the land. I want to show you how easy it is to edit some of these pages. Okay, so let's go to our blank contact us page that we did here. Okay, so you'll see right now it's showing an empty page. If you hit edit, the way Squarespace works, it builds each page by sections. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is click add a section. Okay, and you'll see there's all these different types of section that they have. So they have a contact section. If we look in there, they have all these different layouts and types. If you want a photo, if you want just kind of like a footer sort of thing. So I love this, that they have all these pre-built styles that we can choose from. right at the beginning. So I tend to do, I think I did something like this for my website because you can put the photos here and then you can edit this contact form. Hold on just a second. I'm going to grab some water really fast. Okay, guys. Sorry, that plane really dried me out yesterday. So, we put in kind of that pre-built template, right? Now we can change this, and they make it super easy. It's all just block editing. So if we go up into the left, you see this add block. You click on that. It's going to give you all the basic things: text, image, video, button, form. So let's say we want to put a heading here. Okay. So we can drag this over, and you can see it gives you all of these kind of little squares that help you center things based on the grid pattern. So we can put that, and then we can sort of just drag all of this around to get it where we want it. I don't like that because it's not centered, so I'm going to make this slightly smaller so I can center it because I'm aggro and that just bothers me. So we could say title goes here. Okay, we can edit that. Each website, the design tools will have different heading presets. Okay, so we can kind of choose those until we get something that we like. And I will find where to edit those and show you that. We can change the colors and do all these fun things. So if we go to custom, we can just, there's the background color. I don't know. I would not do it that color on my site, but there you go. So you can see very easy to add blocks. If you want to take away, let's say I don't want this image, you click on it, hit the trash can, it's gone. Okay. We can come down here. Let's say I want another one this shape. So we can hover over that and just hit the duplicate button. And now it has copied that. Okay. So you can see super easy to just drag and drop everything. Very intuitive, very easy to resize things. If you're like, hey, I want to make this a vertical picture now, and I'm going to do two of these side by side. So we'll do this. Just really, really simple. Okay. Um, Same thing for the contact form. So this is a big one for me because I put my entire intake form right here on the website. So if we hover over this block and click on it, you'll see an edit button. If we hit that, we can change our form name. We can go to edit form fields, and here's where we can change all the questions. If you add fields, they have all these different types. You can do like follow-up surveys on your website for clients that have traveled with you already and you want to get kind of their feedback on the trip. You can build a whole survey on your website just for them. Okay. So you can add those fields. You can edit these ones. You can choose whether they're required, or if you want to turn that off, we can put placeholder text. So test@test.com. Okay. And then once you have the form the way you want it, you can go over here to storage. Okay. And this is where, if you have a Google account, you can connect this directly with your Google account. Okay. And then you can choose, if you go to, I haven't connected it yet. Well, I don't want to ruin my other website's connection. So normally I would connect this to Google Drive. And what that does is it shows you a Google Sheet right here. Every time somebody answers the form, it automatically populates on that Google Sheet. And you can reassign it to different sheets depending on what's going on. So like I'll have a sheet for 2023. And then when we get into next year, I'll start a new sheet and I'll just change where it uploads these to be for next year. Okay. Heather, is this just an additional website in addition to the one the company automatically gives us? Yes. So this is if you want to have your own. So the company website is your own, and there are things on there that you can change to customize it and make your own. But if you need something more custom, that's what this is about. That's what this training's for. Okay. Um, and that can be for various reasons. If you want to advertise particular niches that you do, you want to have your contact form like built in, a fully customized one, just for different reasons. Okay. Um, so yes, that's what this one's about. Okay, so once we connect that, you can see how easy it is to change. And then once you're done making the edits on the page, all you have to do is hit save and it is updated. Okay. I found it. Look, see this button up here, the little paintbrush? They moved all the site styles to here. So if we click that, that's going to show us the overall choices for our website. Okay, so this is where you can set your branding, and it gets really granular, which is very cool. Sorry, moving the chat box around. If we go into fonts, it's going to have different styles and different. I don't know if this site may not have it. Some of the Squarespace sites actually have like 4 or 5 different preset styles. Like they'll have a light color, they'll have a dark color. And so you can actually set up different sets of colors based on, that block. So let's see. So this is like the global fonts. We have colors. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is the default palette. Okay. So let's say we want to change this, and let's say we're going to do like a dark green, and then we're going to change this guy to like a dark purple, and we're going to change this one just for something a little different to like a gold-ish kind of color. Okay. And so that is our palette, our branding for the website. They have some preset ones down here that you can choose from, but I tend to customize my own like that. Okay. Well, now if we go back, we can click on like this lightest, for example, and we can go through every little section of this setup and change all the titles, the navigation links, the dividers, every part of that style, the different headings. So here's like a large, a medium. You can have all of those be different colors if you want, different backgrounds for different parts of the site. The way your links show up, the button colors, all of these things you can customize. And then it's all preset when you add the blocks and you choose which of the presets you want to use, the themes. It'll all be just based on your branding as you wanted it. Okay. So for example, let's see if we can go back here and let's check out. Let's do this one. One of these had a couple little dark blocks on it, but essentially if we come over here and we hit edit, okay, in the section you can go to edit section. So remember we added the section and then we added the individual blocks within it, but if you hover over the section and hit this edit section button, that's where you can change kind of the overall styling. So if we go to colors, it's going to let us pick from those presets, right? So that's lightest. If we go to this, you can see it change those colors. If we go to this one, I mean, I haven't customized these all the way yet, but you can see if you customize these buttons to be, different colors, how you can very easily change different sections. And this is helpful when you want to break up content. So like I may have a section here and then I want to add another section underneath it and I want it to look a little bit different. Let's do. Okay, then I can come into this section and change it to one of the darker ones. Okay. And so that gives me just some variation on the page. Okay, and kind of breaks things up. So that global site styles is huge, and I definitely recommend taking some time once you've looked at your site, to kind of build this out based on your preferences, because that will then inform the rest of the website. It'll fill out, it'll kind of fill in the colors everywhere, make sure the fonts are consistent, all of that good stuff. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have in here? And once you're ready to go, um, you've built out all the different pages that you want. You've hidden what you don't want to show up publicly in the not linked section. All you're going to do is go back to settings, and you're going to have connected the domain. Okay. We're going to scroll down and go to billing and go to subscriptions. Okay. And so you can see right now I have a trial subscription until December 4th. If I click on that, and then we can click upgrade, it's going to show us the plans. Okay. So depending on whether you pay annually or monthly, the price changes. I usually do the annual. I have never had a problem if I canceled early, getting a refund from them if I prepaid. So that's what I typically do. And just to share a little bit about the difference here, a lot of these top functionalities are the same. Personal is going to be good enough for 99% of us. Okay. Once you get up to business, you start getting some custom integrations with, Google. You get the commerce stuff. So if you're actually selling on your website, you get that, and you get with a transaction fee. So let's say you want to do video courses at some point. Most of us aren't going to do that in this industry, but the option's there if you want to upgrade. Okay. Then they have a commerce basic that gives you the same thing, but better transaction fees. And it gives you more functionality like point of sale, having products up on Instagram. And then the advanced gives you even more like recurring subscriptions, and all of that stuff. So, like I said, 90% of us, we're going to just use the personal, $16 a month. It's a write-off towards your business. And that gives you almost everything. I mean, it gives you everything I've shown you today in the website. So once you select it and you pay for it, you can go back to the privacy section. Let's see. Internet's being a little slow here. Don't know why it's not going back. So we'll do this. Oops. Okay. Once you, if you log in again and you need to pull up your site, you just go to your name, and it's going to show you. I have a couple old ones on here as well, but here's our travel site we've been working on. And so once you pay, you can go back into settings, go to that site availability, and change this to public, and you will be on the website ready to go. So those are the basics of using the platform. Are there any specific functionality questions or anything you guys are like specifically looking to do on your website that maybe I can show you, or that we haven't covered yet? No? You can feel free to unmute too if you want, if that's helpful. How can you preview the pages on mobile? So right up, let me get rid of this. Right up here in the upper right, you can see desktop view, and you click here and it will show you the mobile view of every page that you're working on. Okay. So it's got all that as well, which I love. Makes it really easy. And I will say they're getting better at this. About maybe a year and a half ago, they changed the block format. So it used to be, let me show you here. It used to be, for example, if I added an image here, it wouldn't give me like the ability to change every dimension. And it didn't have all the little grid, the little blocks. It was much more like column based, if that makes sense. So like I would drag the image up here and it would actually push, it would put it in the center section and push all of this down. Now they've gone to this section, and I noticed when they first did it, they were having some issues on mobile with how stuff shows up. Like you would hope this shows up first and then this, but on mobile it was showing up differently. So if you go to mobile here, you can actually edit the mobile view separately as well, which is really nice because then you can make sure they're both showing up properly. Okay. So I love that they did make it that so you can edit each one independently without changing the other. Any other questions? All right, guys. Well, I hope that was helpful. Let me stop the the recording.